a little bit. We're going to try to pick it up and run through the rest of it. What do we have next?
From Unilad.com, Officer Meagan Hall
Of Meagan Hall.
Vergne Police Station has allegedly been engaging in all the sexual relations with 6 male officers, sometimes while
And
on
a partridge
duty.
in a pear tree.
Yep.
Exactly.
She getting it on.
Inside city-owned property. According to local reports, the former police officer had engaged in sexual relationships and exchanged explicit photos with some of her male colleagues who have also been either fired or suspended, and claimed to be in an open marriage with her husband, Jedidiah Hall. That name says it all. Now that word of the workplace scandal is out, Megan's husband is going to stay by her side.
So here's the real question I have:
Feel
Are
like
they
for
actually?
me-
No,
Here we
are they
go.
actually in an open marriage? Is that a real concept of their marriage? Because if that's a real concept in their marriage,
if I
then-
remember correct, I feel like that they were, but we were just talking about boundaries and
Yeah.
stuff too. Like just like with Liam. Like if you knew that's what it was about, then y'all shouldn't. If you wasn't with it, you shouldn't have got married to it. If they were in an open marriage, I think from one of the reports that I read, I think he said yes, that was the case. But what she did was she went outside the side of the agreement of what they were allowed to do.
Oh yeah, then that's so. The only way poly or open relationships can work is main one, communication. If you do not communicate, you are not in an open relationship or in a poly relationship.
Yeah.
2, it's got to be you have to live by the boundaries. If you do not live by those boundaries, you are not in
sword, you die.
you are not in a poly relationship. You are not in an open marriage. You are cheating. That is the difference.
I think the threesome and all the other
Yeah.
extra stuff is what
Yes.
was outside of what they agreed. Or maybe that was just an excuse they came up with after the fact because of the embarrassment.
Yeah.
Now it could be column A, it could be column B. The funny thing about it is, like, with all the memes and stuff that's been going around, that's only been focused on her. Everybody's like, well, what about, this is another situation where, because of how sex is viewed and how women get the butt of most of these jokes and the targets of all the, being, when a guy does it, he's a stud. When a girl does it, she's
a whore.
Exact and whatnot. There's 2 ways that I think about it on this, because these guys that she did this with, her coworkers, you're never going to convince me that she was the only one that there's definitely probably other women that each one of those guys was probably with, and probably other coworkers too, and that are laying low hoping that they don't also get dragged into it. The one problem with it is in this situation is none of those, which I know it's got to be true, those guys have done it with other people besides her. But none of that evidence has come out yet. She is the only one in that story that, unless those guys were doing it with each other.
Well, it did say that the guys had gotten suspended or fired.
No, I wasn't going to say the only one got in trouble. I said she's the only one that has been with multiple
they're talking about multiple people in
Yeah.
the station.
But I know those cops have also been with other multiple people too. They just haven't gotten caught yet.
Well, it's not even
and
about
they're
getting
throwing
caught.
her under the bus.
It's not getting caught. It is a staple within our media that when women do something in the same manner as men, we demonize the woman and we
The memes
celebrate
have
the
been
men.
brutal.
Yes, and so don't get me wrong. Do I like people cheating? Hail to the no. And do I believe that maybe these circumstances with their marriage is a little bit different? Absolutely, but I still think she may have gone out of the boundaries of their marriage, and that definitely is not okay. But do I think that she's the only one fucking around in that department? Hail to the no. You've got, news article after news article of cops having sex, forcing people that they're arresting to have sex with them. You've got cops utilizing male cops utilizing their power to force an activity upon a female and making them do stuff so they can get out of something.
Hell, I've seen a story where a female cop did that to
Yes.
him. So it happened.
happens.
Those cops have done. Those other male cops have done other things.
Absolutely. So
But-
this story only focusing on her sleeping around in the department seems ridiculous. You know those men
Hey,
are.
what do you think about it? Before I play the next
I
clip.
think my thing is, with the way the world is today, you can do what you want to do, but you should know better than to be messy on the clock. If you want to,
That I agree
If
with.
you
That
wanna-
was 100.
That I
fuck
agree with.
around, if you want to sleep with everybody, understand, do so. But do it on your own time.
Yeah, I don't pay
and
people
make sure
to-
that it's not something that's going to come back to your job
Yep.
to get you fired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you 100 because I don't pay my employees to F around. So
And you certainly shouldn't be. Again,
This is
you
not
need
what
to-
you're paid for.
We're
Yeah.
not sending pictures on clocks where people can.
the picture
you know,
thing,
And I'm talking about on the clock.
but still on the clock. We're on our phone looking at TikTok on the clock. Sending a picture on the clock.
Explicit though.
Yeah,
They were explicit.
I have sent many of fun photos to some ladies while I'm supposed to be working.
But I'm the boss, so I can get away.
That's true. I'm the boss, so I can get away with it. But that being, they're sending me stuff. Like I've received it. They're technically working.
just trying not to be rude. You gotta
but
send
you're
it
on your
back.
personal phone. You're doing something like that. That doesn't bother me. But if you're having intercourse while you're supposed to be working and
In the
you're
station.
in the station, that I'm not okay with.
I only
that I
found-
got a problem with.
Out of all the memes and all the news that's mostly focused on her, I found one piece of local news coverage that was fairly even-handed on it. I think there's sound on it. Let's see if it's hopefully it's working. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
It's a sex scandal making national headlines. An internal investigation uncovering several Laverne police officers having sex with each other, some while on the job and on city property. For many of the 8 officers involved in this investigation, it's not their first disciplinary action. WSMV4 obtained the personnel files for each of the 5 fired officers and 3 that were suspended.
3 suspended.
Officer Meagan Hall was fired for being at the center of the sex investigation. Her personnel file shows she's been suspended 3 times for crashing her patrol car and was given a final warning back in October. Personnel files say Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan was suspended and his rank was reduced back in 2007 for not patrolling and instead having sex while on duty.
I think
He
he
then
was
tried
one
to
of the threesome
interfere
boys.
with that investigation. Officer Juan Lugo Perez had multiple written warnings in his file, including for taking a suspect's phone without logging the evidence. Documents show Detective Seneca Shields violated department policy during a police chase and used city computers for personal use. K-9 Officer Larry Holliday was suspended for his role in the recent scandal and had previously been written up for smoking in his police car. The personnel files show all 8 officers signed off on the department's sexual harassment policy when they were first hired. After this
Is that how
latest
male and female
violation,
coworkers
the
are supposed to
Laverne
work
Police
together, back to
Department is
back like
making
that?
all
Just like
officers
that.
get retrained on its rules and
Elbows out.
regulations.
So that kind of tells you why some were fired so fast and others were they were mostly on their last leg, and I think Nixon was like this is the movie that we really need. Like, forget
Right?
Michael Jackson. Like this is the biopic that we need to
Yes.
get on top of. But quickly let's get to the last
Next.
main entertainment news topics. We haven't even gotten to the reaction.
I know. Guys, that's the end of this episode of The Rundown. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. And click here or here. Thanks for watching.